Hey, this ThinkerThunker. There's something weird going on this mountain here. And I know it happens in other areas too, all over the place. But here, at 10,000 feet specifically, out of nowhere, for no apparent reason, with no signs or tracks or traces of any kind, this stick sculpture garden, for lack of a better term, just pops up. I mean, there it is, with at least 5 of these wikis or sparse stick teepee structures appearing right there alongside the trail. And they're scattered out about every 100 yards or so. I mean, it's just the oddest thing for them to be there. So I have to ask, is this how forest giants mark their territory? You know, you humans can have everything below here, but from 10,000 feet and up, that's ours. Or, even weirder to me is, do artists or survivalists or TP enthusiasts hike all the way up a mountain, waiting until they get to 10,000 feet and then start building these stick art installations? And I call them art because this is a no camping zone up here. So if there's no practical, functional purpose for any of this stuff, that makes it art. And it's art that took days and days and days to build and a ton of effort just to get here. Either way, there's something weird going on here. Let's check it out. All right, these videos were sent in from the strangest place, my wife's phone. She and I had gone on a little hike up in the mountains the other day. We'd been hiking up for just over an hour when we reached 10,000 feet in elevation. That's when we started noticing our first teepee structure out there through the trees. And you know, you're walking along, you see it out there, and you think, man, somebody spent a ton of time on that thing. And that's it. Then you see another, and another, and another, and another. All of them are separated by about 100 yards, all in the same area. And one little structure they started here looks like it was on a tree, based on a tree that wasn't snapped over, but it looks almost like it was heated and bent over. And that's when it got a little weird. You know, at that point, I wanted a closer look. So we go over, we have a good look. There are no tracks, no trash, no signs of any kind as to who did this, who made these things. So then I walked in this one to look up in the top, and I was expecting to see, you know, like rope or cord or something binding at least some of the poles together. And there was nothing to give it any stability. Like you see in all these wiki how-to videos where every single one of these guys and gals, these survivalists, they all lash at least a few of the poles together at the top, close to the top, you know, so there's as much room inside as possible. But that was something else weird about these. And that's all that overhang there on the top. It gives it that kind of eerie, overgrown, wild, abandoned quality. But think about it. There wasn't one rope or cord or wire or piece of string or anything binding these things together. No cuts on any of the logs, no saw marks. It's just all found limbs and logs drug up and assembled in a way that would make an engineer proud, because, you know, they're just all wedged and braced together in a really clever way. And to see them, you wouldn't think the thing would stand on its own, but they do. I mean, we've had some high wind in the area for days and lots of rain with tons of snow that just started melting off. So, and yet there these things sit. So there's just something weird about them. Okay, so we had just left the sculpture garden area and decided to stop for a little sip of water, and noticed on this tree right here, something had just shredded it. I mean, with deep claw marks, fresh. And they went way up high, up in this little tree. And, you know, we do have black bear in the area, but we don't have, say, 10-foot tall black bear. At least I hope we don't. And this tree looks a little small for a bear. They would have to be that size to be climbing. I mean, I suppose one could. Who knows what all the black bear can do. But then we kept looking up and we noticed this up here. Something it looks like had just bitten or ripped an entire ring around the tree. I mean, just shredded that off. Bears don't do that. So what would? What would do all this damage? Now, some people are going to say, well, there's probably a beaver. Well, beavers don't climb trees. And also, beavers don't have giant claws to do this kind of damage. Another thing, beavers leave shavings all over the ground. Now, here's where a bear marked a tree. And you can see they're pretty much just straight drags down, straight claw marks instead of kind of all over the place like we were seeing in our tree. This is beaver damage. And again, you see all the shavings down there. Beaver damage, shavings, low on the tree, always low on the tree. Porcupine damage. They eat the bark. So they do shred all the way around, but then you've got all of this down here, all of those shavings. Woodpecker damage. And again, shavings. And here was believed to be some like termites, pine termites, rodent damage. But even with that, you still see shavings down at the bottom. So again, looking at our little tree, it's tall, but it's relatively small. And it does not look like it would be easy for a larger bear to climb. So whatever took these chunks out 12 foot up, I mean, if it can't climb up there, it must have been standing beside it. And that's kind of unthinkable. What could stand beside a tree and rip chunks out or bite chunks out 12 feet up? So, could humans have done all this? Sure. I suppose someone could have, several someones could have hiked up here over a period and done all the tree sculptures with no string or any bindings at all. I would kind of like to see that. As for clawing up the little tree, then ripping a section off the top 12 foot up, that I really would like to see somebody do. But the weirdest aspect to all of this is the fact that this is an area where people have gone missing from. And I mean missing in the most profound way, to where search crews and scent hounds and, choppers in the sky and the whole 9 yards never found another trace. Really bizarre stuff. And have had bizarre encounters as well with what some referred to as gorillas up here in the mountains. Upright gorillas. We don't have gorillas in the U.S. And for any of you who've read the 411 missing books, this area that my wife and I were hiking in is right smack dab in one of the clusters. And a cluster is an area of unusually high disappearances in state, federal parks and forests. So knowing all this, why did we still go up there and go hiking? That is a really good question. But I can tell you, my wife and I take every precaution we can. We never take our eyes off each other or never more than a foot or two apart in the entire time, and holding hands most of the time. So we are very careful. Is that enough? Well, we're still here. So yeah, I hope so. Boy, the thing is, I used to spend a lot of time up there filming by myself. And, way back before I got into this. And I can tell you, there were days out there where just all of a sudden I was working long and I packed everything up all of a sudden and just left. Because, sometimes I would just get that feeling, even though no one was around, I was being watched. It's just kind of weird out there. Will my wife and I ever go back again? Probably so. Because I want to see if there's been any changes or additions. We just like it up there. Is it a good idea to go back out? Still, probably not. But we'll be as safe as we can be. So that's it, guys. This was my first new video for my new site here of us, something we encountered. So that was fun too. Your time to weigh in. Just register. It just takes a second. It's free. And let me hear from you guys over in the forum, comments here, whatever, both. And for all of you who find videos or photos or audio clips that you want me to check out, just post a link in my latest activity forum by copying the link address and posting that down in the body. Then vote it up. If others agree, if others vote your post up, you might find that your post is one of my next new videos. Everybody gets a vote. Everybody gets a say in what deserves further investigation. I think that's really cool. And as always, special thanks to my patrons over at patreon.com. I wish now I could move you guys over here somehow so that there was just one side and we were all under one roof. Maybe we'll figure that out later. But their generosity helps make all new videos possible. Thank you so much, guys. And you can be a patron too for $1 a month. Also, you might notice some Yeti mugs and products about. I chose Yeti coolers to be my affiliate sponsor here on my site. I think it fits. So clicking on one of their mugs or links takes you to Amazon, and a purchase there helps ensure that my new site stays open and new videos and investigations keep coming. The same for anyone who buys one of my t-shirts, caps, or mugs. Thank you guys so much. That really is the biggest help of all. Just click on the banner here whenever you see it. And hey, if you've got an amazing story to tell, or know somebody who does, or has that video we've all been waiting to see, or even an amazing photograph, a full figure, stunning photograph, video, please post what you can in the forum and we'll go from there. It might lead to an interview situation. I've never done that, but I would really like to. I would really love to talk to some of these people about what's going on. And I take that back. I did get to interview the IMAX Bigfoot director who filmed all of that. So it was an amazing experience. And that also goes for, like UFO videos or ghosts or anything you feel defies explanation. Because I'll just tell you guys, there simply are not enough really good, high quality Bigfoot videos to keep me busy. I mean, frankly, we might get one every few years or so, if that. So it's time I expanded my search a bit, because I can't just make new Bigfoot videos. I wish I could. I wish I could just grab a camera and go out and film something, but it doesn't work that way. So yeah, it's time I expanded my search a bit. There is a bizarre world out there, and we've only just scratched the surface. So thanks, everybody. Take care.